Hey guys, today we'll try to understand one more operator, that is logical operator. Now, what do you mean by logical operator? Now, logical operators are mostly used to form compound Boolean expressions. Yeah, so it is mostly used to form compound Boolean expressions. Yes. Now, in when I'm saying compound Boolean expression is when there are two operands which would come up with the logical operator itself a Boolean expression. For example, uh, if I have the age as age equal to greater than 16 and marks greater than 80. Yeah. Now there are two Boolean expressions, like age greater than 60. This will give me true or false. We know about the comparison operators here. And then we have marks greater than 80, which is again comparing marks with whether it is greater than 80. So this will also return true or false. And is called as the logical operator. Yeah. So, along with the keyword false, Python interprets none, numeric zero of all types. Yeah, and empty sequences, strings or tuples or list. Yeah, empty dictionaries as well, and empty sets as false. All other values are treated as true. Yes, so you need to remember this along with keyword false. So if we write it as false, it would consider the value of the Boolean expression to be false. Even none is considered to be a false. Numeric zero of all types are considered to be false. Empty sequences like string, tuple, list. Yeah, yeah. Now what we need to understand is the different types of logical operators. So different types of logical operators are. So let me indent it. First is and, next is or, and last is not. So these are three types of logical operators which we will be working on. But before getting into logical operator, let's understand the truth table. Yeah, every logical operator will have a truth table. Let's first understand the logical AND operator. Yeah. So when I'm saying logical AND operator, let me indent it, create a new text. Yeah. Logical AND operator. Uh, what do you make it? Logical AND operator. Yes. So for the compound Boolean expression to be true, both operands must be true. So in AND, when I'm saying logical AND operator, both the operands has to be true. Yeah. So age 16 has also to be true and the marks greater than 80 has also to be considered true. Then only it will, then only the output of AND operator will return as true. Yeah. If any or both operands evaluate to false, the expression returns false. Yeah. So let's see something uh, a kind of a table sort of. So if I say A, we have a variable A, we have a variable B, and we have this operator A and B. Yeah? A and B. This is a logical operator, as we know. Let me see the indentation. I'm very sorry. I'll just keep it this way. So create a yeah, and just indent them so that we have some space between all of them. Yeah. So we have A as a variable, we have B as a variable, and we are considering A and B as the output. Now what we are saying, yeah, we are saying if A equals to false, yeah, B equals to false, then the logical operator A and B will be false. Yeah, this is a this is truth table. Truth table for AND operator. Yeah? This is logical AND that we are talking about. So we are checking on truth table for on AND operator. Let me make it bold. Yes. If A is false, B is false, the AND operator will give the output as false. If A is false, B is true, still the logical operator will return false. As we have said earlier, if any or both operands evaluate to false, the expression returns a false value. Yeah. If A is true, yes, and B is false, the logical AND operator will return false again. Yeah, because one of the value is false still. In order to have the value as true for a logical operator, both the values has to be true. Yes. So if A is true, B is true, then the logical operator will return true. Yes. So this is the truth table of logical AND operator. Let's understand same way on the contrast for logical OR operator. Let's have this OR operator. Let's create a truth table for the same. Now let's understand first what do you mean by logical OR operator. Yeah, in contrast to what we had for AND, the OR operator returns true if any of the operands is true. Yeah, so if A or B, any of the operand is true, then it will return as true. Whereas if both the operands are false, yeah, then the returned value would be false. Let's see the truth table for so, so A and B. Suppose A is false and B is false. Yeah, it OR operator will return false. Yes. If A is false and B is true, logical operator will returns true for OR. So OR operator will return true if any of the value is true. So here one of the value is true, one of the value is false. Next, suppose A is true, B is false. Still it will return as true. Yeah. Because it has to have one of the value as true for OR operator. Yeah. And if both the values are true, but obviously it has to be true. So these are the two logical operators that we have seen as of now, and OR, and we have seen uh, the truth table as well. Yes, pretty clear. Now the last one on our list for a logical operator is not. Yeah, let me add. This is logical not operator. Yeah, and let's have a truth table. In truth table for not would be, it would be not A. So it is not A. So what would be? So if A is true, if A is false, the logical not operator would be true. Yes. And if A is true, not logical not operator will be false. Pretty simple. Only two conditions. So if a logical operator is false or an operand is false, not A would be true. Or vice versa. If it is true, then the logical not operator will return false. Yeah. So this is a unary operator. The state of Boolean operand that follows is reversed. So any state that you give it give to the not operator, it will return a reversed or a negative of it. Yeah. As a result, not true becomes false and not false becomes true. Yes. Now, how the Python interpreter evaluate logical operator we need to see is, suppose we have an expression x and y. First evaluates x. It will first evaluate x. If x is false, its value is returned. Otherwise, y is evaluated and the resulting value is returned. Yeah. So in the case of x and y, so we need to check whether x is false, its value is returned. Yeah. Otherwise, y is evaluated. If in expression x or y, first evaluate x. If x is true, its value is returned. Otherwise, y is evaluated and the logical values are given. Let's try to get some examples which will help us to understand the use cases. Let's understand logical operator with Boolean conditions. Yeah. Logical operator with Boolean conditions. Well, let's have some example. Suppose I have x equals to 10 and y equals to 20. Yeah, let me get it up better. Yeah, let me take this variable first. Now, let's try to print something. Yeah, let's have a print x greater than 0. I'm checking whether x is greater than 0. Yes. And I'm checking this time. I'm checking the operator as and. And x less than 10. Yes. So what should be the AND operator return us? So our value was this thing. Let me copy this so that we'll get the values. Yes. So what I'm saying here, please evaluate properly. So hear me out. X is greater than 0. Is x greater than 0 over here? Yes. So this condition has gone through. Yes. So x is greater than 0. Let's see if whether x is less than 10. Yeah. Is x less than 10? No, x is equals to 10. It is exactly 10. It is not less than 10. So this condition evaluates to false. Now here we have A as true, B as false. So according to AND condition, if one is true and other is false, the final operand would be the final result would be a false. So let's see what happens. What is the value that it gives? It should give us false. Yes, we have got the value as false. Let's try something else. I'll just copy this. Yeah. Now let's try if x is greater than 0 and we'll try whether y is greater than 10. Yeah, x is greater than 0 and y greater than 10. Let's evaluate this condition. Is x greater than 0? Yes, it is because x is 10. It is greater than 0. Y greater than 10? Is y greater than 10? Yes, it is greater than 10 because it is the value of y is 20. So both this condition would evaluate to true, and as per a truth table, if both condition in AND operator is true, then it should return as true. So let's see if this returns us as true. Yes. Let's try some more example. Yes. So let's copy the above one, and I have x, which is, let's see if it is greater than 10. And I also say y is greater than 10. Yeah. So I'm saying x greater than 10 and y greater than 10. Yeah. Let's see what it returns. Yeah. Is x greater than 10, or we take it as or. This time we have used the on condition. Let's see whether or works. So what I'm saying is x is greater than 10. Is x greater than 10? No, because x value is 10 itself. So it is not greater than 10. Y greater than 10? Yes, because 20 is greater than 10. But since we have used OR operator, we have seen the truth table. If either of the value is true, it should return true. So let's see if this returns true, because one of the condition is true. Y is greater than 10. Yes. Let's get some a bit complicated example. Yeah. When I'm saying x mod of 2 is equals to 0, I'm evaluating whether x is equals to 0. Mod of 2 is equals to 2 and y2 mod of 2 is equals to. We know what is modulus operator. It checks for the remainder. Yeah. Whether the remainder is 0, yes. Both of the remainders are 0, because if we divide 10 by 2, it will give the remainder as 0. It is divisible by 2. Yeah. Same way we try to use complex function and say not. I'm saying not x plus y greater than 15. X plus y is 10 and 20, which is 30. So is 30 greater than 15? Yes, it is true. Yeah. But since we have added not, it will give us the value as false. So this condition is evaluated to true. So if x plus y, yeah, if it is greater than plus 1, yeah. Yeah, so it is giving me an opposite reverse condition, reverse answer of the same. Yeah, we have seen this logical operators with Boolean condition. Now let's understand logical operators with non-Boolean conditions. Yes. Let's again assume x equals to 10, x equals to 10, y equals to 20, z equals to 0. Yeah. Let's see x and y. As I said, numerical 0 is always false. Yes. So let's run this first, assign the values. Let's see this condition x and y, where both have the values. So you get the higher one as the answer. So it's a latter part which takes the precedence. So we need to always understand is when we are using, when we can use non-Boolean operands with logical operands, here we need to not know that any non-zero numbers and non-empty sequences evaluated to true. So if x equals to 2 and if I say x, it will return as true. Yeah. And y is also true. So both true will return true, which is 20. Yeah. And the same truth tables of logical operators apply. So the variable x and y that we evaluated to true, z is false. Yeah. So when I say x and y, it will return a true, which has returned 20. Yeah. So the later part would be considered, not the former part. Yeah. But in our case, it will give the former part. So former means x value. It should give you x value. So let me put or here. Let's say x or y. It is giving me 10. So in or operator, it will give me the former part, while in AND condition, it will give me the later part, which was y, which the value of y was 20. Yeah. Let's understand for z and x. If I try to put here z, x, z, actually, z. Let's see what it gives. It should give me x, which is the form part because z is evaluated to false by default. Yeah. Let's try with y or z. So let's take the same thing, y or z. Yes, it gives me 20. Pretty clear? So this is how the non-Boolean conditions work along with logical operators. Let's try to do something with logical operators, something with strings and tuples. So logical operators with strings and tuples. Suppose I have the value as hello. Yeah. And I have an empty tuple. So empty tuple, dictionary, or list will be considered as false, which you have seen, which I have mentioned previously. So the string variable is treated as true. So if there is anything within the string, it will be treated as true. Whereas the empty tuple, which is there, whether it be empty tuple, list, dictionary, anything, if it is empty, then it will be treated as false. So if I try to write the same thing in terms of A and B, if I say A and B, because one is true and the other is false, the AND condition or the AND operator should return as false because B is false. Okay, if I made any mistakes, A and B. Okay, I have not run the assignment. Yeah. So I need to assign A and B with the relevant values. Now, if I run, since A is a string, it has some value, hence it will be evaluated to true. B being empty tuple, it will be evaluated to false. And in AND operator, if one is true and one is false, then it will return the value as false. Yes. So it has returned the value of false, which is B. Yeah. So that's why it has returned an empty tuple. Yeah. Same way, if I use OR condition. So if I use OR instead of this, let's see what happens. It should return me hello. Yes, that's the true value. Yeah. Pretty clear? Let's try to do something with by comparing some sequences. So let's try to compare sequences, specifically list. Yeah. Let me assign one list, say x equals to 1, comma 2, comma 3. This is one list. Other can be y equals to 10, comma 20, comma 30. Yeah, so we have two lists. Let's see what happens. We'll use the same condition and an or for x and y. That's list. Yes. Uh, Let me run this first, assign x and y values. Yes, we have assigned it. Now run x and y. Let's see what happens. X and y. Yes. See, it returns me the former. Okay. Now, the two list objects below are non-empty. Hence, x and y returns the later. If you have and as the operator, it will return the later one, which is y. And if it is an or condition or an or operator, it will return the former one. So that is the x value. Yes. So this is a simple tutorial on logical operators which you can use for your various conditions when you're working with if else and conditional loops. Yeah. Hope you liked it and you understood much of the concept that I wanted to convey. Thank you so much.